Adam Candee is the assistant editor of the Las Vegas Sun and joins us now. Adam, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me on.
You know, first off, this is a deep, huge tragedy for your city.
It is. Sadly, it is not a tragedy that was unexpected. Las Vegas has known for a long time that it has potential as a target for this type of terrorist attack because of its place on the world stage. That just certainly does not make a day like today any easier for anyone in our community, though.
What has it been like in Vegas today?
I think the early morning hours in Las Vegas definitely were panic, chaos, fear. Not really knowing what was happening. We were hearing unconfirmed reports of multiple shooters at multiple properties. Obviously, those turned out not to be true. I think panic gave way to shock and numbness, and I think that's where we are right now as the victims start to make some sense of what happened, or as much sense as they're really ever going to make of something like this.
Now, regarding the suspect who killed himself in his hotel room, I mean, this is someone who was, from what we can tell from police, really not on their radar.
No, Las Vegas Police Sheriff Joe Lombardo said earlier today that his department had never had a derogatory interaction, those were his words, with Stephen Paddock. Many years ago, there was a citation that had been issued to Mr. Paddock, which was handled in normal course. The Mesquite Police Department, where Mr. Paddock was living, after they searched his house, they held a press conference and said they had never had any interaction with Mr. Paddock. So this was not a person who was well known to law enforcement authorities here in Nevada.
Adam, where were you last night when all this was happening?
I actually was driving on the freeway right about the time that this happened, and our news team started getting word of what was happening. So some of us scrambled to kind of get the control center put together. We happened to have a few reporters who were on the Strip, thank God not at the concert site, but some reporters who happened to be down there who were able to get in place. One of our reporters was barricaded into one of the hotels in Las Vegas until 4 in the morning. We had another reporter who had actually just covered the Vegas Golden Knights preseason hockey game who was able to scramble into place for us as well.
I imagine this is going to change things in terms of security in Las Vegas. I know it's a city that's used to greeting large crowds and large events, but this is probably going to alter things just a little.
I think that's something that's going to come into the discussion pretty quickly. It's one of the stories we're working on for the Las Vegas Sun tomorrow, is to look at what this means for the future of Las Vegas security. But as Sheriff Joe Lombardo said, an actor like this, a lone wolf, a man who he termed a psychopath, it's impossible to get inside the head of someone like that, and to be able to stop one person with that sort of intent is always going to be a great challenge. It calls on the entire community to be in the mentality of seeing something and saying something, even the tourists who are in town for vacation.
One last question. I know that at the Las Vegas Sun, you're probably investigating all angles to this. Have you discovered anything at all about the shooter?
What we've discovered about the shooter goes along with what we've heard from police for the most part. We did have a reporter up in Mesquite today who spoke to some of his neighbors, spoke to someone who has the exact same floor plan house as him in the same cul-de-sac. And we heard what you so often hear in these situations. He's an everyday guy. He's nice. We never expected anything like this. So those are the things that I think we've been able to learn about Mr. Paddock that go beyond what we've heard from the authorities.
We really appreciate you taking the time. We know that you're very busy there. Adam Candee from the Las Vegas Sun. Adam, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me on.